It wasn't easy at all. She had to experience some things, when she was growing up, obviously being
New day, new drama in South Africa. According to new reports, Makhumalo allegedly removed baby for Musa Mseleku in their teenage dating that damaged her womb. Please like this video as you watch. A previously recorded interview featuring Makhumalo, widely known as Makhumalo, one of South Africa's most recognized polygamous wives, has recently re-emerged online and stirred intense discussion across social media platforms. The focal point of this revived interest revolves around allegations that her husband, Musa Mseleku, may have groomed her from a young age. In the now viral interview, Makhumalo speaks candidly about how her relationship with Mseleku began. She recalls meeting him when she was still very young, describing herself at the time as innocent and inexperienced, with no understanding of romantic relationships. According to her, Mseleku would often make subtle comments and express a desire to marry her, which she initially perceived as playful teasing from an older member of her community rather than serious romantic intent. From a child's dream to a polygamous marriage, Makhumalo reveals that, like many children, she had childhood dreams, specifically becoming a soccer player. However, those aspirations were cut short as her life took a different direction following her eventual marriage to Mseleku. "I was just a schoolgirl the first time I encountered Babu Mseleku," she recalls. "At that time, I had no concept of relationships or dating. He would often make lighthearted remarks, saying he wanted me to be his wife. To me, it felt like a joke. I didn't understand it and never interpreted it as romantic. He was just an elder from the neighborhood." She recounts how these interactions continued for several years, with Mseleku maintaining a consistent presence in her life, occasionally repeating his desire for her to be his wife. Despite this persistence, she claims she never took his words seriously, largely due to her young age and limited awareness of romantic dynamics. Eventually, a long period passed where she no longer saw him. But when he reappeared in her life, things took a turn. A shift at 18, from confusion to romance. By the time Mseleku returned, Makhumalo was 18 years old, legally an adult and more mature. It was at this stage that she began to comprehend the meaning behind his repeated statements. She says she started seeing him in a different light, appreciating his patience and the unwavering attention he had shown her over the years. "I admired his consistency. He saw potential in me even when I didn't recognize it in myself," she shared. "That was when I opened up to the idea of being with him." The debate: was this grooming? While some interpret their relationship as a story of enduring affection, others have raised serious ethical questions. Many are now debating whether Makhumalo's experience fits the textbook definition of grooming, when an adult builds a relationship with a minor with the intent of manipulating or exploiting them later. Experts on abuse and child protection have weighed in. Cookie Edwards, executive director of the Kasian Network on Violence Against Women, emphasized how grooming can be difficult to detect due to its subtle and manipulative nature. "It's not always obvious, and it often unfolds slowly over many years," Edwards explained. Perpetrators build trust through consistent attention and flattery. They often present themselves as protectors or benefactors, making the victim feel special or chosen. She further pointed out that victims, especially children, often don't recognize the manipulation. By the time grooming takes effect, the victim may have developed loyalty to the perpetrator and might even defend them if others express concern. Psychological and ethical implications. Zama Dladla, a clinical psychologist, echoed similar thoughts. She explained that grooming differs significantly from consensual romantic relationships, especially when the younger individual lacks the maturity to understand or consent fully. In grooming cases, it's not about mutual romantic interest. There is a power imbalance, Dladla stated. The older individual is fully aware of what they're doing, whereas the younger person is often confused, naive, and vulnerable. She emphasized that grooming does not always involve violence or coercion. Instead, it can appear entirely benign, often disguised as mentorship, friendship, or even familial care. People often confuse the absence of force with the presence of consent. But true consent involves understanding, which many young people do not have. That's what makes grooming so insidious. It can look like love, but be rooted in control. Beyond the outcome, examining the process. Both Edwards and Dladla stressed the importance of evaluating the process rather than the end result of such relationships. Even if the relationship eventually becomes stable or leads to marriage, it does not erase the questionable nature of how it began. Grooming is a complex process, entangled with cultural norms, power dynamics, and even socioeconomic considerations, Edwards added. What matters is not just what happened, but how it happened, and whether the younger person truly had agency. Silence from the couple. Despite the mounting public interest and the questions raised by gender rights advocates and mental health professionals, neither Musa Mseleku nor Makhumalo has issued a public response to the Resurfaced interview or the accusations it has provoked. Makhumalo and Musa Mseleku's relationship dates back to their younger years, well before Mseleku became a household name due to his polygamous lifestyle. Allegedly, they began dating in their teens, a time when many young people face complicated decisions regarding relationships and family life. During this period, Makhumalo reportedly became pregnant by Mseleku, but their situation took a dramatic turn when she chose to terminate the pregnancy. Fertility issues are highly personal, and for Makhumalo, this past decision may have had not only physical ramifications, but emotional ones as well. She has been open about the pain of not being able to have children, a challenge she faces alongside her husband, who has multiple wives. Despite the difficult history surrounding her fertility, Makhumalo has shown great resilience throughout her journey. On Athando Nesthembu, viewers have seen her and Musa Mseleku grapple with the emotional toll of fertility struggles, with both of them working together to explore options like fertility treatments. Makhumalo's openness about her desire to become a mother has resonated with many viewers, as her candidness brings awareness to the emotional and physical complexities surrounding fertility.